when you've been in healthcare as long as I've been in, and you take this sense of responsibility for the patients that you assess, that you build relationships with, that you bring into the into senior living community, and you watch them suffer through this disease. You carry a lot of a sense of burden, and almost a penance in itself by knowing that they're fighting a battle that they cannot win. So having worked the memory care units, was not just an executive, having developed case studies and been an advocate for healthcare for so long, to be an owner of a football club and in the United States, and to see the reaction, to know that headgear, because of the case studies, not just in the US but in the UK alone, that a player of mine could potentially grow up and be a patient I would have assessed. It carries a sense, like I said, of the burden of knowing.
I asked Mr. Monsour whether he thought footballers would realistically accept such a significant change to the game. He maintains that not only is the headgear not intrusive, but it arguably improves in-game performance.
It weighs like less than a pound. You don't feel it. I hear that from players all the time. And it also does a bunch of things that are quite important for a player. Like, for example, if you're in a game and it's the 70th or 80th minute, and you've headed 9-10 balls out of the box, you lost a step. Doesn't matter. Not everyone. We're not all built with skulls made of metal. The reality is you've lost a step. Your fitness, how your brain has been rattling in your head, and your decisions that you make on a pitch. These are things that we're also trying to protect too. Trying to protect their future, but also the ability to be able to make those decisions, to trust their instincts, to play football for 90 minutes, not encumbered by the fact that you've had to bounce the ball off of your skull and that your brain had to rattle. Why? What's the point?
And while Manchester 62 players will be the first to wear the headgear, it's Mr. Monsour's hope that this will extend to the rest of the league and beyond. I asked if there had been further contact with the GFA on the matter.
Actually, they're in the process now of reviewing the headgear to gauge if a mandate is appropriate. At the same time, I won't mention which owners, but a couple owners have come up to me and expressed, I see what you're doing. Need the players to, accept this. And that's where I've kind of helped in some of those conversations to say, listen, these players, if they build the notion of being afraid someone's going to laugh at them, I can tell you that if we need to be the example of how short that moment is this season, then we can be that example.